Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Warrior Ice Arena in Boston, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of tonight's upcoming high school varsity boys ice hockey contest between the visiting Rockets of Needham High School and the hosting Brookline High Warriors. And folks, I am not alone on my broadcast here tonight. I am joined, some of you might remember him from a few games last year, my broadcasting apprentice extraordinaire and color commentator for tonight, Brookline High freshman Sam Lowenstein. Sam, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thanks for having me on tonight. Brookline 1-1 so far. Their record, they had a strong win against King Philip 5-3, showed a lot of offensive firepower, but really struggled in their last game, and they'll be and I think the offense is going to be the key for them. Brookline getting those 5 goals in the first game. They were shut out in their last game. That's what led to them losing. They gave up the same amount in both affairs, but if they can get the attack going, they should be able to win tonight against Needham.
And indeed, Brookline giving up 3 goals in each of their first 2 games, but like you said, Sam, a big disparity in their offensive production. 5 goals against King Philip last Saturday, led by a hat trick from Jaskin Goddard, but then got blanked offensively in Attleboro against North Attleboro on Monday. Fans who watched my stream of that one, you know just how tough of a game that was and how it was kind of closer than the score might have showed, but you know, the bounces don't go your way. You lose the possession battle as the other team gets to have it in the attack end more than you do. All just adds up to a loss. And Needham, meanwhile, they come into this one 0-1. They lost their opener against Weymouth 3-2. So both these teams, they have 3 games played between them, and they've all allowed 3 goals in each of them, just for a funny bit of a coincidence. But that just goes to show, you know, offense is going to play a big factor, and also, you know, we'll see if maybe either team can step up defensively and have a better performance than previous. But as we wait for the teams to come out on the ice out here at Warrior Ice Arena, I'm happy to say that this broadcast and all of our regular season winter broadcasts for BHS this year are brought to you in part by Esch Dental, located right in Coolidge Corner. Book your next dental appointment with local dentist and BHS sports parent Dr. Brandon Esch for the non-corporate personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-COM to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103, or go online to eashdental.com. You can find that link down in the description section down below, and you can also find a link to the official Venmo account of the Friends of BHS Hockey Booster Club if you feel like supporting this team financially. And speaking of this team, here they come out onto the ice, the Brookline High Warriors. And over on the other side, we see coming out the visitors in their dark blue jerseys with white jersey numbers, the visiting Needham High Rockets. These two teams faced off once last year early in the season on December 20th of 2023. Brookline came out with a win in overtime that game, 4-3, with then senior Henry Ames scoring the game winner in overtime. One of 2 goals he scored, along with 2 goals from his fellow senior Noah Gurdon. So if Brookline is going to get the win this time, they're going to need some new heroes. And on the subject of new heroes for this game, let's go through the rosters. We'll start over here on our right with the visiting Needham High Rockets. Going in order of jersey number for Needham, first off we have a sophomore goalie, number 1, Carson Brownridge. Next, a senior, number 2, Nick Sewell. A junior, number 4, Nick Buckley. A sophomore, number 5, Will Song. A senior, number 6, Sean Concannon. A sophomore, number 7, Matt Ledbury. A senior, number 8, Matt Rudder. A senior, number 9, Will Rosenberg. A junior, number 10, Joey Saratella. A senior, number 11, Sam Treacy. A senior, number 12, Alex Duan. A senior, number 13, Will O'Donnell. A senior, number 14, Will Saratella. A senior captain, number 15, Tommy Peabody. A senior captain, number 16, Niall O'Malley. A senior captain, number 17, Joe Kajunski. A senior, number 18, Justin Mayra. A sophomore, number 19, Joe McDonnell. A sophomore, number 22, Colin O'Donnell. And a freshman goalie, number 30, Lucas Olson. Head coach of the Needham High boys hockey team is Mike Hoban. That's the roster for Needham. Now let's move over to our left and let's go through the roster for the Brookline High Warriors. Going in order of jersey number for Brookline, first off we have a sophomore number 2, Zach Riviello. A sophomore number 3, Ricky Ace. A freshman number 4, Alejandro Marrero. A sophomore number 5, Waylon Slavin. A junior number 6, Greg Uptekman. A senior number 7, Connor Erdman. A sophomore number 8, Corey Toe. A senior number 9, Max Guo. A senior number 10, Jace Gangadarin. A sophomore number 11, Oliver Melton. A sophomore number 12, Teddy Sheridan. A senior captain number 13, Grady Ames. A sophomore number 14, Preston Bayless. A junior number 15, Aton Kate. A sophomore number 16, Morris May. A sophomore number 17, Jamison Young. A senior captain number 18, Thomas O'Brien. A senior number 19, Ryan Wilson. A freshman number 20, Ilmari Roto. A junior number 21, Owen Lacey. A junior number 22, Vivon Suberwall. A senior number 23, Dylan Katz. A freshman number 24, Harrison Platt. A freshman number 27, Milo Parks Cohen. A senior goalie number 30, Jack O'Connor. A junior goalie number 31, Craig Haas. And a freshman goalie number 33, Evan Gerber. Head coach of the Brookline High boys hockey team is Michael Yanovich. So those are our two rosters coming in today here at Warrior Ice Arena alongside Sam Lowenstein. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and you are watching Brookline High Hockey. Face down by Fuchel, but intercepted Brady Ames. Match. Shot is in! Chase Gagarin! Brady Ames racing back the other way. Ames scores! Morrison fighting for it now. Pass through, and Visnicki somehow stopped by O'Connor. How on earth? Erdman coming around the back. Shot. Score! Connor Erdman wins it for Brookline! All right, the time on the pregame clock has run out, and we will soon get this game started. We got our first note in the live chat from Aunt Marlene Lyons in Michigan. Or I am back from Michigan. Go Dylan Katz. Thank you so much for tuning in, Marlene. Hope you enjoy the game. And we'll let the PA announcer take over from here.
Please show your appreciation by demonstrating good sportsmanship and respect for all in attendance. Ensure that your behaviors reflect the values that should be identified with these student athletes.
All right, those were our starting lineups in National Anthem. We'll soon have our opening puck drop with a fresh 15 minutes on the clock for the first of 3 periods out here at Warrior Ice Arena. The matchup between the pipes for Needham, Carson Brownridge in net. For Brookline, Craig Haas. Starting for Brookline, the defensive pairing of Dylan Katz and Preston Bayless, and a forward line of Max Guo, Connor Erdman, and Corey Toe. Excuse me, I brain farted for a second. And meanwhile, for Needham, among the starters, I believe we had number 2, Nick Sewell, number 11, Sam Treacy. We had, I think, Will Saratella, and Niall O'Malley and Joe Kajunsky. Here we go, opening face-off to start, and we're underway here at Warrior Ice Arena. Warriors versus Rockets. And the Rockets push it into the Warriors' end, into the corner. Chase down, Dylan Katz pins a man to the boards. They're still fighting for it. Oh, it goes right in front of the net. Saved by Haas. Another save by Haas, and yet another save by Haas. Starting right off with the excitement as that puck was flipped over the back of the net right in front of Haas's face, and he stands tall and splays out for 3 back-to-back-to-back saves. Another point blank, and he stops it again. Needham coming out like a shot out of a cannon. Another long pass finds a man. Shot saved by Haas as he's starting out with a flurry of saves here as Needham putting on the pressure to start here in the opening seconds. Chased down the corner by number 14, Will Saratella, who had that last shot that went off the shoulder of Haas. In the corner, they're fighting for it. Gets it through to number 15, Tommy Peabody. Slides it back, tries to jam it in. Haas walls him off again. And it's still with Needham as Peabody controls it. Long pass back to the point. O'Malley tries a shot, redirected by kick save by Haas. Chased down in the corner by Peabody again. Pass back to number 11, Sam Treacy. Gives it back to Peabody. Peabody loops it around the boards, finds Saratella. Saratella's pass disrupted. Peabody recovers it though. Trying to weave his way through several defenders. Still scrumming for it. That one goes through to the slot, but it's intercepted by Corey Toe, who finally clears that one out. But it's going to be icing, and it's going to come right back to the Brookline end.
Well, Brookline left the open, they left the open of the middle of the defense wide open there, as Preston Bayless was the only one defending. He blocked a couple shots there. If it wasn't for him, a goal could have gone in. Also, incredible saves made by Craig Haas, but Brookline showing defensive gaffes so far.
Face-off won by Needham as they stay on the attack. Skating with it, number 18, Justin Mayra. Slides it across. Long shot redirected wide. An attempted insert from number 7, Matt Ledbury. Goes back. Mayra tries to send it for Peabody, but missed it. Now looped around by Ledbury. Around the back, they try to set up for Peabody, but it's deflected away. Now along the boards, it's corralled by Brookline. Owen Lacey skating with it, lifts it into the Needham end as Brookline goes on the attack for the first time. Aptekman and Ledbury fighting for it, as was number 4, Alejandro Marrero. Needham loops it around the boards, trying to take it the other way, but Aptekman keeps it in the Needham end. Goes all the way down, and Ledbury takes it as Brookline commits to a line change. Ledbury sends a long pass up, finds number 8, Matt Rudder. Rudder's pass just slightly missed, or no, it was offsides because Peabody had not gotten back across the blue line.
Brookline's had way more success in that last minute because they were playing more compact in their defense. In the beginning, they were being spread out. Needham was able to get on both wings, open up a couple shots, but Brookline playing better in the last couple.
Off the face-off, Eitan Kate sends it down to the Needham end. Jason Goddard giving chase into the corner, but couldn't get it past the defense, but the clear attempt walled off by Jamison Young. And they try and clear again, and Young just kind of whiffs on that block there, whiffs on the puck again, and now it is taken by number 17, Joe Kajunsky. Kajunsky's shot saved by Haas. Putback could not be connected on, as that would have been a juicy chance for a putback. Now Kajunsky takes the puck, another shot saved by Haas. Putback missed wide, and another putback is put in. Will Saratella puts it in off the assists from Kajunsky, and one more, I think it was number 2, Nick Sewell, who got the other assist on that play.
Will Saratella gets a wide open shot on the left side. Brookline getting exposed defensively. Craig Haas made a save to his right. allowed for the empty net shot from Saratella, and there's nothing Haas could do about that. He almost got to the puck.
And our scoreboard cam currently covered up a bit. Hard to see. Sorry about that. I'll see what we can do about that in the next break in the action. But we got a puck drop coming up as this one is collected again by Needham. They've been strong on the faceoffs to start as they send this one into the Brookline end. It's going to be chased down by Ryan Wilson. Wilson lifts it up the line to Corey Toe, but it's stolen away, and a quick shot redirected high as Will O'Donnell was attempting that one. Now Brookline trying to take it the other way. Toe passes over to Guo. Guo charging in, pass just missed. Toe would have had a great look there if he could have collected that pass. As the PA announcer confirms the goal by Saratella, a steal by Guo. Guo, shot blocked, juicy chance, and it could not be put back in. They were right in front of the net, but they couldn't get their stick on it. Brookline keeping up the attack, shot, score! Corey Toe with the first goal for Brookline, and just like that, we're all tied up.
Well, a 2-on-1 there from Brookline. Corey Toe off the second chance shot. Toe had a chance. He almost made it in. It was a good save. He gets the rebound. And just like that, Brookline 1-1.
Corey Toe, his first year on varsity. He gets his first high school varsity career goal here at Warrior Ice Arena. And the assist on that play credited to Thomas O'Brien, who started that with the insert. And that one's redirected in. Needham answers right back. I think they might be saying that went off the defense, in which case the long insert from number 8, Matt Rudder, is going to be credited with the goal. I believe that's going to go to Rudder. But boy, back and forth the scoring goes here in the first period. Less than 5 minutes in, we got 3 goals already.
Man, Jesse, what a start to the game. 3 goals within 5 minutes, and just an unlucky goal. We've talked about those deflections not going the way of Brookline in this game and the last game.
Now another fight for the face-off. This one controlled again by Needham. Long shot saved by Haas. The attempted clear is stopped by Ledbury. Oh, they actually gave credit for the goal to Ledbury. Number 7 gave Rudder the assist. So Matt Ledbury assisted by Matt Rudder. As they're fighting for the puck here, it's taken by Greg Aptekman. Aptekman racing the other way. Aptekman charging in, pass across, missed. Intended for either Lacey or Marrero, and just missed it as it's now being taken the other way. Kaczynski charging in, shot missed wide. Along the boards. They're scrumming for it, where to go, pushed forward. Marrero couldn't get past the defense there. It's taken back. Number 12, Alex Duan, goes around the defense, coming around the back, tried to jam it in, but turned aside. Rebound corralled now by Jace Gungodarin. Gungodarin tried to gain the blue line, but was stood up by number 5, Will Song. Song takes it across the blue line, dubs it to the back end. Harrison Platt sends it around the boards. Taken back around the boards. Platt again tries to clear as it's a physical battle for the puck. Goes back to Song. Song pushes it forward. Now sent back to the point. And Gungodarin lifts it. Eitan Kate streaking after it. Kate, breakaway chance. Shot saved by Brownridge. Carson Brownridge with a huge save on the breakaway chance by Kate. And now Peabody taking it the other way for Needham. Peabody tries to pass to the slot, but it's blocked by the skate of Grady Ames. O'Brien sends it around the boards. Sent back around. Knocked towards the slot, recovered by Dylan Katz. Katz skating through the neutral zone, pushes it forward, and it deflects over the benches.
Well, Needham's had most of their success running down the right wing. Brookline has been exposed from those positions, whereas Brookline, most of their chances have merely came from breakaway opportunities on the counterattack. Almost getting a goal there with Eitan Kate.
Face off in the neutral zone, being fought for, poked forward by Connor Erdman, who takes it in the corner, loops it around the boards. Racing after it is Toe. Toe tries to push it forward, and it is pushed forward by O'Brien. Into the corner it goes. Needham trying to clear. It does get out to the neutral zone. Recovered by Katz. Slides it across to O'Brien. O'Brien sends it up the line into the Needham end. Chased down by O'Malley. O'Malley trying to clear it out. Gets it forward to a teammate. Slid across from number 13, Will O'Donnell, to number 9, Will Rosenberg. They send it forward, but Brookline now sending it back. Ledbury sends it off the boards. Collected by Toe. Sent forward. Now parked there by number 11, Treacy. And now we've got a whistle. Not sure what they might have called offsides or something. Looks like they called offsides.
Most likely. And Jesse, this has been a really even game when you think about it. Considering the quality of Brookline's chances, they've had a lot of wide open opportunities. The bounces haven't gone their way, and I could see them getting some shots to go in.
Off the face-off, it's controlled again by Needham. Sent forward to number 2, Nick Sewell. Sewell disrupted, and it's taken away by Lacey. Lacey lifts it into the neutral zone, but it's parked again by number 18, Justin Mayra. Around the boards it goes in the Brookline end, chased down by Preston Bayless. Bayless kicks it along. Lacey trying to clear, and now corralling it is Aptekman. Aptekman dumps it into the Needham end. Chased down by Mayra, but Aptekman battling for it. Gets passed back to Bayless. Bayless inserts, turned aside by Brownridge. In the corner, it's deflected back, and it does roll across into the neutral zone, but Aptekman dumps it back into the Needham end. Chased down by Mayra. Mayra trying to clear it. Cannot. Stopped by Kate. Looped around the boards. Ledbury corrals it behind the net. Sends it off the boards forward to Saratella. Saratella does dump it into the Brookline end despite a hard check into the boards by Aptekman. Ledbury chases it down. Sends it around the back. Chasing after it now is Peabody. Peabody trying to control it. Now it is controlled by Rudder. His push goes wide. And whoa, hard into the boards there. And play continues, slides through the slot. Nobody there to collect it. And Brookline trying to take it the other way. This is Katz. Pass to Gengadarin. Gengadarin blocked on his shot. And Gengadarin with a second chance was walled off by Brownridge. Couple of big chances there. First a stop by Alex Duan, and then Brownridge stops, and now Peabody loses his footing as he got disrupted from behind by Katz and couldn't get back up. Ames trying to take it the other way through the neutral zone. Ames gets around a defender, but loses control of the puck, knocks it loose, and Kate trying to jam it in, but it's stopped by Brownridge.
And some pushing and shoving after the play.
Got very physical there on both sides, as we got 6 minutes and 8 seconds on the clock, as you can see from the scoreboard cam in the bottom left corner of your screen. 2-1 is the score in favor of Needham. Face off goes all the way back to the neutral zone, chased down by Wilson. Wilson across to O'Brien. O'Brien sends it up the line, goes into the Needham end, chased down by Treacy. Treacy spins off a man. Pass forward, gets away, and it's kept in the attack end by O'Brien. Treacy sends it around the other way, finds his man. Number 10, Joey Saratella, was with it for a second, but now it's taken by O'Malley. O'Malley's pass finds O'Donnell. O'Donnell gains the blue, disrupted by Erdman. Now a big insert was blocked there by O'Brien, trying to get it out off a couple of ricochets. It does get to the neutral zone. And now the loose puck collected by O'Brien gives to Wilson, up to Toe. Toe disrupted by O'Donnell, and it's recovered by Wilson. O'Brien sends it up, just misses Guo. O'Malley clears it back to the neutral zone. Toe pushes it back into the Needham end. Sent across now. Sent forward by Treacy. And Toe trying to send it off the boards, not realizing he was right in front of his bench as it goes over the benches there for a dead puck.
Well, Jesse, Brookline have had most of their success going right down the middle. Needham has done a good job to close out on the sides. Every time Brookline's been trying to attack from their wing, they've been shut down by one or two defenders.
5:04 on the clock here in the first, as we got a face-off in the Brookline end. This face-off won by Needham goes back to Mayra, slides it across to Ledbury. Ledbury battling with Erdman. Loose puck. Almost cleared, but stopped by Ledbury. Now corralled by Bayless. Bayless trying to come around the back with it. Loops it around the boards, gets to Toe. Toe scrumming along the boards with several players. It finally loops back around the other way. And Erdman manages to push it through to the neutral zone, but lost his footing, and so Mayra collects it. Mayra's pass to Ledbury, tries to tap it forward. Bayless disrupts. Along the boards, a scrum for it. Guo knocks it loose. Corralled by Mayra again. He skates it across the blue line himself, gets stood up by Katz hard, and now it's collected by Bayless. Along the back, Bayless lifts it to the neutral zone, kicked along, but now collected by Kajunski, sends it across the blue line for Will Saratella. Saratella tries a pass, couldn't get through traffic there. Scrumming along the boards for it, goes back long. Insert is going to be covered up by Haas after Will Song sent that one in.
Well, Brookline have had Preston Bayless playing in the middle of the defense, almost patrolling that area of the ice, and he's done a good job so far. He's defended a lot of would-be attempts.
Face-off is controlled by Needham again. Song sent it off the boards. Now O'Brien sends it around the back, but Rutter's going to chase that one down. Whips it, blocked by the stick of O'Brien. Corralled by Wilson. And now along the boards, Lacey trying to get control of it, but we got several players in the scrum now. As it finally goes back, blocked by Song. Sent forward, Wilson sends it off the glass. Corrals it himself and pass forward, finds his man, that's Marrero. Marrero trying to push it through. And it is collected now by Song. Brookline's got to come back behind the blue line. As Rutter takes it into the neutral zone, pass forward, moved along by number 6, Sean Concannon. Battle along the boards. Katz endures the big check and gets it out of there. Into the neutral zone, Marrero finds Lacey. Lacey gains the blue. Lacey, long pass across. Oh, just missed up Techman. Might have been disrupted by a defender as it's now taken the other way by Needham. Peabody lifting it for himself. Disrupted, bouncing along. And it's going to be not covered up by Haas. It was knocked loose. Lacey now clears it out to the neutral zone. Less than 3 minutes to go here in the first. Treacy, pass, pushed into the Brookline end by number 22, Colin O'Donnell. Chased down by Will O'Donnell in the corner. Will O'Donnell coming around the back, disrupted by Ames. Puck is recovered by number 9, Will Rosenberg. Sends back to Treacy. Treacy back over to Rosenberg. Rosenberg just trying to keep it in the Brookline end. It's going to be corralled by Katz, who sends it around the boards, blocked by Rosenberg. Now Ames pushes it to Gungadarin. Gungadarin disturbed by Rosenberg, can't clear it, blocked by Treacy. Treacy misses Colin O'Donnell on that pass. Bayless pokes it forward. Kate gets just enough on it, and Ames collects it, lifts one high, stopped by Treacy. Gungadarin applying pressure, but Treacy does clear it out. Chased down now by Wilson. Sends it across to O'Brien. O'Brien long pass too far for Gungadarin, and that's going to be icing.
Well, Brookline had that wide open chance for Greg Ebtekman coming in from the left side, and they've started to incorporate having their wingers go on the left, sneak in behind on those cross passes. They haven't been able to connect on them just yet, but the idea is there for the Warriors.
1:47 on the clock here in the first of what has been a thrilling contest already. This face-off corralled by Brookline. O'Brien sends it around the boards, but blocked by Ledbury. And now a block at the blue line by Erdman. Gives an opportunity to Max Guo, who's racing with it, disrupted by Mayra, but he keeps the puck. Pass through to the slot. Ricochets, a chance for Tone. It was stopped by Brownridge. Big chance for Brookline, but just couldn't finish as Brownridge with another big save for Needham. Will Saratella takes it the other way. Pass along to Kajunski. Back to Saratella around the back. Saratella pinned to the boards by Wilson. Coming in for DeSewell. Pass to the slot right in front of the net. Haas able to stop it as the defense crowded around to prevent Kajunski from getting a clean look.
And Kajunski, he got open right in front of the goal, but two Brookline defenders able to get to it. And Brookline showing a lot of good hustle, especially in the second half of the first period. They've been on every ball in the defensive zone.
1:12 now on the clock as we got another Brookline end face-off. This face-off is leading to a scrum. Brookline comes out with it. This is Ames skating through the neutral zone. Ames gains the blue, nice timing. Pass forward for Kate. Kate, pass blocked, goes high up in the air, knocked down. Corralled by Mayra. Mayra trying to move it along. Attempted clear by Concannon, was blocked, but now a player gets stood up, and now Needham racing it. Rutter's long shot, glove save by Haas.
And Craig Hosse's made a couple saves on those long point-blank shots that Needham has been taking. They've been prioritizing being open rather than getting the best possible look.
And that one, not quite point-blank, but like you said, a long-range shot. And Haas able to still make the stop with his glove. 46 seconds. Face-off, won by Brookline. Bayless trying to kick it along, but it's knocked back. And it's going to be chased down by Sewell. Sewell coming around the back. Looking for somewhere to go, loops it around the back to Kajunski. Kajunski sends it back. Sent across, Song, insert blocked by Katz. Katz taking it the other way through the neutral zone. Katz trying to push it forward, but lost control of it, taken back by Sewell. Sewell disrupted by Aptekman. Aptekman controls it, dumps it into the Needham end. Just 13 seconds left as it's parked around the back. And ricochets, and Needham's just going to try and hold on to it and kill the clock as Bayless blocks the attempt to clear there. It is cleared out, and that is going to end the first period. Our score at the end of one, the Needham High Rockets 2, the Brookline High Warriors 1. We saw 3 goals in the first 5 minutes before the teams were able to batten down defensively. For Needham, their first goal from Will Saratella. Brookline answered back with a goal by Corey Toe, and then Needham answered very quickly back with a goal by Matt Ledbury, as we take a quick look at the replay of that goal by Corey Toe. That one was assisted by Thomas O'Brien. As you can see, just got the good bounce there, but boy, a thrilling first period.
You bet, Jesse. And it seemed that at the beginning of the first period, Brookline, they were being outplayed on the boards. Needham had the physical edge, but as the game went on, Brookline, they upped their defensive pressure on Needham, and it was able to turn the favor. Once they were able to keep Needham honest, as Needham had to bring more defenders back, Brookline was able to spread their attack out and eventually get some open shots, and only one of them was able to go in, but Ethan Kate, he had a point-blank chance, just a great save made by Carson Brownridge. I think Brookline's got a shot to win this game.
Okay, seems like now that I'm getting a chance to look at the live chat, there was a brief concern about sound. Marlene Lyons, who, my mistake, not in Michigan, said the sound is bad and it's breaking up. Joanna Fricky in the live chat saying sound is good now. Folks, I'm sorry I wasn't able to address the live chat with how fast things are moving, but I'm hoping it's good now. All my indicators are showing that it should be good, so I hope that was just some brief technical hiccups. We got one more note in the live chat from Steve Sheridan saying, shout out to Grady Ames and Teddy Sheridan and the rest of the Warrior team. A clock on the screen. You are awesome, Jesse. Thank you there, Uncle Steve from Tampa. I appreciate your kind words, and I appreciate that I was able to get the scoreboard cam working this time, as I wasn't able to get it working in North Attleboro on Monday. As we head into the first intermission, I remind you this broadcast is brought to you in part by Esch Dental, located right in Coolidge Corner. Book your next dental appointment with local dentist and BHS sports parent Dr. Brandon Esch for the non-corporate personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eschdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to eashdental.com. And you can find that information in the description section down below, where you can also find a link to the Friends of BHS Hockey Booster Club, which supports, obviously, the Brookline High boys hockey team if you'd like to support them financially. And you can also find a link and phone number for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Community Foundation. For over 100 years, the Brookline Community Foundation has been a trusted partner, supporting Brookline by investing in organizations and initiatives that help create opportunity and promote equity for everyone who lives, learns, works, and plays in our community. Among the foundation's many grant programs is the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School, which provides graduating BHS students with scholarships to help fund post-secondary education. Through the first 10 years of this scholarship fund, they've raised about $1.5 million to help graduating Brookline youth as they embark on the next steps in their educational journeys, and your help is crucial. Visit brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442 to learn more about the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School and how you can make a difference right here in Brookline. Once again, brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442. And all those links and phone numbers you can find in the description section down below. And if you know of any local organizations, whether they be local businesses or local nonprofits that you think could help from the additional visibility on these broadcasts, feel free to reach out to me or have them reach out to me. You can see my personal website and my email in the bottom right corner of your screen if you would like to reach out. But for now, first intermission, Needham 2, Brookline 1, Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan alongside Sam Lowenstein here at Warrior Ice Arena. We're going to take a break and mute our mics, but we'll be back with the second period. Stay tuned. All right, we are back on the mic here at Warrior Ice Arena in Boston, Massachusetts for the second period of tonight's high school varsity boys hockey contest between the Brookline High Warriors and the Needham High Rockets. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan alongside Sam Lowenstein. And Sam, we had an exciting start to that first period. 3 goals between the two teams in the first 5 minutes of the game. But then while the teams had plenty of exciting chances, nothing was able to go in. And I'll tell you, with the stellar performances, even with the multiple goals allowed, the stellar performances from Craig Haas and Carson Brownridge in net for these two teams, it's almost a bummer that the scoreboard here isn't showing shot counts, isn't it?
Well, definitely. And Jesse, everyone needs to remember that first goal that Craig Haas gave up, it was off a second chance. He was diving out to his right, where he gave up the goal, and he almost was able to save it with his legs too. He's been incredible today, being battered with chances from Needham, and as Brookline's defense played more coherent, their offensive chances opened up, and it has been a similar story to last game. Brookline, they've had the opportunities, but they haven't been able to put them away.
And we'll see what will happen here in the second period as Brookline trailing. They're trying to get back above 500 after falling to 1-1 with the loss on Monday against North Attleboro. Needham searching for their first win of the year after dropping their season opener to Weymouth. And the teams back out on the ice. Looks like we're going to get a slightly altered forward line for Brookline. Looks like they've moved Owen Lacey onto the line with Corey Toe and Max Guo. Lacey was on a line with Tekman and Marrero in the first period. Looks like they're shifting things up a bit as we get ready for the start of the second period. A fresh 15 minutes on the clock. Here we go. Face-off control by Brookline, pushed into the Needham end, but it's taken by Needham's Sam Tracy. Tracy pass across, finds Joe Kaczynski. Long shot, scooped up off the bounce by Craig Haas.
Well, Kaczynski just taking a shot there from the wing, and Needham's been relying on a lot of those chances primarily, actually from both sides, the left and the right side. Haven't been particularly successful, but they've opened up some other attacks.
Face-off is pushed into the air, turned aside by the blocker of Craig Haas. Sent around the boards now into the corner, fighting for it, and kept on the attack by Needham's Niall O'Malley. And now Will Saratella, who had the game's first goal, coming around the back, tries to pass through to the slot, but too much traffic off the ricochet. Ryan Wilson lifts it off the glass. It's going to go all the way down for an icing.
There, Brookline being pressured into their own end. They're just having to dump it down as Needham has been consistent with their passes. Brookline, they haven't been as coherent as Needham. Just they're setting up to the attacks. That's where Needham's been so good, is the fundamentals, and they've been out physicaling Brookline as well.
Face-off now in the Brookline end as that clear-out icing allowed them to change lines. Face-off goes back to Justin Mayra, but his pass knocked away by Grady Ames, gives it up to Jace Gangadarin. Gangadarin sends it, was behind Eitan Kate, and he just has to send it through the defense into the Needham end. And we've got a whistle for, I think we're going to have our first penalty, and I think it's going to go against Brookline. No, it's going to go against Needham. I missaw it entirely. This is going to be a penalty against number 6, Sean Concannon. And Brookline's going to be going on the power play for 2 minutes.
Well, Brookline getting a great opportunity. A small mistake with the exchange between Kate and number 10, Jace Gangadarin, but regardless, they're set up well.
Off the face-off, it is sent back to Thomas O'Brien, gives it, and a long insert. Kate trying to jam it in. It was loose, but Gangadarin couldn't dive to knock that one in. It's recovered by Dylan Katz, who takes it to the point, slides it over to Gangadarin, back to Katz. Katz over to O'Brien. O'Brien around the back, gets away from Kate, but Kate corrals it in the corner. Kate lost control of it. It's knocked loose. Gangadarin fighting for the puck with Kaczynski. Kate and Ames coming in to try and fight for this puck along the boards, as this will eat clock on the power play here. Puck squirts loose. Got her and sends it just off the post. Almost snuck one in. Ames recovers the rebound as Brookline resets on the power play. Ames looking, long insert, kicked aside, and it's going to be taken back by Needham. This is Nick Sewell. Ames attacks it, and Brookline trying to take it back, but Kaczynski lifts it out to the neutral zone. Controlled by Katz now, just under a minute left on the power play as O'Brien gives it back to Katz. Katz awaiting the line change for Brookline's power play unit. Gives it to O'Brien, disrupted by Sewell, and O'Brien comes around the back. Now slides it over to Katz. Just 40 seconds left now. Katz a long pass, finds Guo. Guo racing across the blue line, charging in, backhand pass! Erdman couldn't get around the defense there, and bodies go flying as it's sent around the back, misses toe. Attempted clear, gets past O'Brien, and is going to go all the way down to the Brookline end as Haas leaves it for Katz. 20 seconds left on the penalty as Katz gives it to Toe. Corey Toe disrupted slightly on his pass there across the blue line, chased down by Erdman. Connor Erdman sends it around for Guo. Guo down to Erdman. Erdman back to the point to Katz. Katz to Erdman. Erdman back to Katz, disrupted slightly, and oh, juicy timing here as Kincannon out of the box, shot high! Needham almost got perfect timing on the end of that penalty. Now Guo taking it the other way, pass through Erdman, open, couldn't get the shot off, and he kicked the net off its post. Where's the whistle? There it is. Brookline unable to take advantage of the power play. Needham unable to take advantage of the fortuitous timing of the end of that penalty, and then Brookline unable to take advantage of the rush back the other way. No score yet in the second period.
And that's been the story of today's game. Both teams have had a lot of opportunities, but they haven't been able to put it in since the first couple minutes of the game. Brookline have looked way better than they did in the first period now. They're playing more coherent. They've been passing it back and forth throughout the ice, able to spread out the Needham defense, and that was crucial, especially on the power play with Needham already depleted.
Face off won by Brookline, but the pass back disrupted, and Bayless couldn't corral it. It's taken away by Rudder. Rudder on a rush, charging in, shot, missed it high and wide. Kept on the attack end by O'Malley, and the puck chased down by Peabody. Peabody going around the back, pursued by Wilson. Wilson knocks it loose and loops it around the boards for Kate. Kate, hard check from O'Malley as Rudder chases down the loose puck and whips it back into the Brookline end, and we're going to get a whistle here as I think they might have called icing on that one. I think they might have called icing on Needham, and so we're going to have a face-off in the Needham end.
And Brookline have gotten way more breaks in this second period. Now with the opportunity due to the icing.
Face-off controlled by Needham. They whip it around the boards, battling along the boards. They send it back out the other way for Rudder. Rudder trying to lift it, blocked out of the air. Nice block by Max Guo as Brookline gets an attack chance here, but that pass blocked right back out down to the Brookline end, chased down by Bayless. Bayless around the back, sends a long pass up, touched along for Lacey. Lacey gains the blue, battling against defenders here, knocked loose, recovered by Toe. Toe lifts it forward, chasing after it is Guo, but it's taken instead by Treacy. Sends it along the boards for O'Malley. O'Malley lifts it, kicked along by Peabody. Down to the Brookline end where it's chased down by Katz. Katz spins away from Peabody. Now gives a pass over to Lacey. Lacey trying to push through, does get through the defense of Ledbury. Gains the blue, but it's knocked loose by Rudder, and Ledbury recovers, sends it off the boards, finds Peabody. Peabody gains the blue, passes back. Saratella's shot was disrupted by Aptekman, I believe, as it's now recovered. Sent around. And now skating out with it is Aptekman. Aptekman whips it into the Needham end. Around the boards goes, and they called icing. We've had a couple of borderline icing calls both ways. The officials are calling it tight. If you do it from even a few feet behind from a little bit behind the mid-ice line, they're going to call it.
And that one's super close, barely icing coming from a Techman. It almost made its way to the wall before it hit to the back red line.
And this face-off, Kaczynski pressuring right in front of the net, but he was turned aside by Haas. Recovered by O'Brien, long pass misses Erdman, and that's going to go for icing. And I don't think any we're going to hear any end complaints for that one. That one was definitely much longer.
That one about as clear as it gets. Kaczynski, a dream chance as he gets open just in front of the net, but Brookline's defensive pressure continuing to improve as the game goes on. And you can almost sense, in a weird way, a sense of desperation from the Needham attackers in the way they're shooting it.
Now Ledbury dumps this one into the Brookline end. Wilson chases it down, lost it, but out of the scrum, a long shot missed wide from Mayra, recovered by Ledbury. Ledbury trying to weave his way through, could not, too much traffic. Taken by Tekman, sent off the glass, going to go out to the neutral zone. Erdman almost swooped in and took it, but couldn't get his stick on it. Ledbury lost it to a poke check from Tekman. Now Mayra lifting it through, lost his balance, and lost his balance again. Still got a pass away, but it's blocked by Marrero. Delayed penalty called on Brookline, and whoa, some hard physicality just after the whistle was blown. We'll see if that's anything extra, but at the very least, it's going to be a penalty on Brookline, as I think they're going to call him for a trip on Mayra. And so, but we might be getting some extra folks going to the box. We'll see what this results in. We got a Needham player going to the box. That's Will Saratella. We got two Brookline players going to the box. It looks like Alejandro Marrero and Connor Erdman. And so it will, I believe this is going to be a normal 5-on-4. My guess is two of those players are going to the box for the fight after the whistle, and then one for the penalty that had already been called. And so it's going to be a power play for Needham, a simple 5-on-4, as the fight penalty is going to be offsetting.
This has been an extremely physical game, and the team that's been more physical have often had the upper hand at the beginning. Needham dominated Brookline in the physical end. Brookline has returned the favor.
Starting the power play for Needham as Tracy slides it across to O'Malley. Now over, and a shot saved by Haas. Put back, just whiffed on by Peabody. Had a golden chance there after the initial shot from Concannon. Now the puck chased down by O'Malley, gives it to Tracy. Tracy skating with it. Poke check by Ames. Ames almost had a shorthanded chance there, but just couldn't corral the puck as Gungarin got it in the neutral zone and sent it back to the Needham end to kill some clock on this penalty. Now a pass goes up to Concannon. Concannon gains the blue. Pass back Rudder. Rudder long shot saved by Haas. That one went right to the body. A little bit of pushing and shoving after the play as a player was trying to crash to the net for a potential rebound chance. Might have brushed against Haas a little bit, and you know what? It's just, you know, it's kind of what you're bred to do in hockey is if any opposing player even so much as touches your goalie, you immediately start pushing and shoving to keep them away. You know, you kind of bodyguard duty there.
Also, you could see the puck jolting a little bit in the hands of Craig Haas.
And this one almost redirected in, but it goes just wide as the PA announcer was reading out for the penalties for us. And in the meantime, Needham still trying to make things happen. Kaczynski rather with the puck. Pass gets away from Mayra, recovered by Kate. Kate does barely get it out to the neutral zone despite a deflection. Kaczynski controlling it now, being pursued by Kate. Gets around him, gains the blue, shoved into the boards by Guo. Loses the puck, scrumming for it, knocked loose. Kaczynski recovers, pass disrupted, and Guo clears it out. And now Kate with a chance to chase after it on the shorthand. Kate charging in and tried to jam it in, but couldn't. Rebound being pursued by Guo, but couldn't get it. Too much traffic there as it's now taken the other way by Will O'Donnell. O'Donnell charging in, got an opening shot, saved by Haas. Brookline trying to clear, blocked by Song. Song charging in, disrupted by O'Brien, recovered by Ledbury. Ledbury out of the corner, his pass misses off the boards, controlled by Toe, as Toe is going to lift it out to the other end as the penalty concludes. We're back at even strength as Erdman comes out of the box. The other two going to stay in the box for that fighting penalty. But we're back to 5-on-5 with just under 7 minutes to go here in the second period. And that long pass had no target, as I think the intended target was coming off the ice for a line change. And that'll be icing on Needham.
And now Needham, they've been playing a little bit more in their own end here in the second period. Brookline have controlled possession a bit better. They relied on counterattacks in the first.
Now a face-off in the Needham end, 6:46 on the clock. Face-off goes to the back where Song gets checked by Gungadarin, couldn't get a clear off. Gungadarin trying to slide one back, but Rudder disrupts it but knocks it over the benches, and that'll be another dead puck.
Well, as I was saying, Brookline have had more possession here in the second period. That's been the key to their increased offensive success. Here with another face-off in the offensive zone.
Face-off, sent around the boards. Rudder, pass, gets to Peabody. Peabody disrupted from behind by Katz. Good takeaway as Kate sends a long pass, misses Ames, and just barely over the red line for icing.
And that one lasered across the ice. As you said, Jesse, they've been calling those icing calls extremely tight for both sides. Some chirps coming from the fans earlier in the game, but regardless, an opportunity for Needham.
6 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock here in the second period. No score in this second frame as of yet. Face off. They lost sight of the puck as it went to the near side boards. Now going into the corner. Loose puck was knocked right to the slot. Almost a chance for Concannon, but Katz was there to defend. Now it's bouncing along, and a chance for a Rudder, and it's knocked in on the putback by Tommy Peabody. Tommy Peabody on the putback off the initial shot from Matt Rudder, and Needham goes up 3-1.
Well, lots of traffic in the offensive zone coming from Needham, and Peabody just whips it from the left side into what looked like the upper right-hand corner. And yet again, Krahos making a good defensive effort, but he can't get to the second chance. It's the second chance goal for Needham today.
Less than 6 minutes to go here in the second period. Brookline now trailing by multiple scores. And a battle through the neutral zone for the puck. Several players in there, and coming away with it briefly was Needham, and now it's taken by Will O'Donnell. Whips a shot, saved by Haas. Juicy rebound, knocked aside by Preston Bayless. And a pass back by Needham, misses and goes all the way down to the Needham end. O'Malley chasing after it, leaves it for Treacy. Treacy finds a pass target, Joey Saratella. Saratella sends it around for O'Malley. Tries to clear, does get it up. And now it's being left for Joey Saratella, who chases it down along the back end, disrupted by Bayless. Coming out with it is Will O'Donnell. And knocked back, but blocked by Ledbury. Kept on the attack end, slides it across to Mayra. Long pass, finds O'Donnell. O'Donnell sends back to Ledbury, sends it forward, gets away from Saratella, and Bayless trying to move it along the boards. Now a scrum for it with several players in there. And Saratella knocks it loose, coming around the back. Disrupted by O'Brien. Puck is loose, but recovered by Needham again, as they are getting to every loose puck faster than Brookline, it seems, these past couple of minutes. Nice shot blocked by Brookline there. But now fighting for it along the boards is Bayless. Lifts it forward, and Ledbury blocks it at the blue line, keeps it on the attack for Needham as Kajunski swoops in and takes it, whips a shot, saved by Haas.
Well, Kajunski's been taking a lot of those long shots. He's primarily been shooting it from the left side. Needham have also had two attackers back to take further distance chances.
So 4:15 on the clock. Face-off corralled by Katz, sends it around the boards. Moved along by Marrero, chasing after it, Erdman. Odd man rush, Erdman pass up, Techman couldn't collect the bouncing pass. And Needham is taking it the other way as Sewell. Poke check by Marrero, recovered by Erdman. Erdman didn't get enough on his pass. It's stolen by Kajunski. Kajunski lost control of it and whips it wide of the net. Song sends it off the boards, gets up to Sewell. Poke check by Aptekman. Battling for it, and Erdman, despite losing his balance, does get it around. Wilson moving it along, but stopped by Alex Duan. Sent around. Now Will Saratella pinned to the boards. Aptekman comes out with it. Poke check knocks it loose, but it's cleared out by Marrero, and that's going to go for icing.
The great move there by Kajunski, getting an open chance, but Brookline have done a solid job to allocate more defenders back. Even though Needham has seemed to be faster, stronger than Brookline, at least so far in the game. That's been the big difference maker, but at least strategically, Brookline's compensated pretty well.
3:22 on the clock here in the second period. Bayless pushes it forward, but it's blocked at the blue line by Needham. And now they lost it, taken by Kate. Kate pass for Gangadaran. Gangadaran gets around the defense, pushes forward, but it's blocked. Would have had a wide open Kate if he'd gotten that pass through, but it was blocked by, I think, O'Malley. And now we've got a whistle. And is this a penalty or an offsides? They called offsides on Brookline, looks like. And so we'll have a neutral zone face-off here with 3:05. And this face-off corralled by Kincannon, pass back to O'Malley. This pass briefly intercepted by Brookline, kicked up, got away from Ames. And now Peabody skating with it. What's this whistle for? Is this a delayed penalty on Needham? It is. They're going to call a penalty on Matt Rudder. And so in the last minutes of the second period, Brookline is going to have another power play.
And Josie, this should give Brookline a real offensive spark potentially, because they started this second period very well. They seemed faster than Needham with better intangibles, but it seemed like the Rockets have really recovered. This is Brookline's chance to get a goal back.
Off the face-off, quick shot from Kate is saved by Brownridge as Needham clears it all the way down to the Brookline end. That's a 2-minute minor for roughing against Matt Rudder. Katz sends it up to Grady Ames. Ames whips it across to Gangadaran, across the blue line. Long shot, glove save by Brownridge.
And there's the chance from Gangadaran. Brookline almost taking a page out of Needham's book with that shot, just trying their luck, potentially getting more chances. And now the offensive zone face-off.
Brookline changes their forward line to the Aptekman Toe Guo line. Face-off goes back to Guo, sends it to the point to Katz. Katz surveying, slides it over to Guo. Guo sends it across, intercepted by O'Malley. And O'Malley sends it up into the netting. And so that's going to be a Needham end face-off. Guo was looking for a long pass across to either Aptekman or Toe. I didn't quite see who it was, but intercepted by O'Malley to prevent the shooting chance. Face-off is won by Needham as they whip it around, but it's blocked to the blue line by Katz. Katz at the point, slides it over to Guo once again. Guo blocked on the pass down by Treacy. Again, the pass blocked by Needham as this one goes into the boards, and it is cleared out by Treacy as Katz sends a pass up to Toe. Toe slides it across, blocked, but the rebound recovered by Toe as Brookline's going to reset with just under a minute to go on the penalty. Katz gains the blue line. Katz holding it, trying to spin off Treacy. Treacy able to clear it again as Treacy's been sealing off that near sideline, sideline well for Needham. Brookline trying to get it moving again. Katz lost it, poked loose, but sent right back into the Brookline end before they can even get it through to the neutral zone. 30 seconds left on the penalty now. O'Brien gives to Katz, back to O'Brien. Needham really pressing aggressively on this penalty kill as Aptekman sends a pass, redirected to Guo. Guo tried to redirect it, but couldn't get it to Toe as Sewell clears this one out. And with just 10 seconds left, Brookline not able to get a single shot off as Kajunski swoops in, applying the forecheck here. Kajunski sends it around, back to Ledbury. Ledbury around the back, Kajunski pinned to the boards as we're back at even strength. Brookline not able to get any shots off on that power play as this puck squirts loose. Aptekman sends it up ice, pushing with it Gungadarin, but couldn't get around the defense as through the neutral zone. Kajunski left alone. Pass back, Peabody whiffed on the one-timer. And we got a whistle possibly against Brookline here, and this might be a segmented power play for Needham as it looks like Katz is going to go to the box. And with 23.3 seconds left in the second period, the first 23 seconds of this 2-minute minor will be here in the second period, and the rest will be served to start the third period.
Well, Needham been using Jake Kajunski on the offensive ahead of all the other players, and he's just been a madman in the offensive zone so far.
Joe Kajunski has been an impact player for Needham. His face-off quick shot from Concannon is covered up by Haas. And so just 4 seconds off the clock off that quickly whipped shot.
Well, Needham taking another long shot. They've loved those today.
Off the face-off. And a pass through to the slot. They are trying it point blank again, but again turned aside by Haas. Ledbury lost it. Takeaway by Gungadarin. Gungadarin racing in. Oh, he shot saved by Brownridge, and Gungadarin collided with the goalie. And we'll see if they call another penalty for that one, as that one got really dangerous. And that is the end of the period. And Needham clearly worried about their goalie, Carson Brownridge, as Gungadarin went for a long shot and then trying to charge in for the putback. Just came in hard at Brownridge. You've got to be careful about goalies. I mentioned it before. And we'll see if they assess anything to Gungadarin off of that last play. If they do, then Brookline could be facing a 5-on-3 to start the third period. We'll see, after we come back from the intermission.
We got to hope that Carson Brownridge is okay. It looks like Jason Gungadarin hit him around the neck area, so he looks all right. Did have his helmet off, but hopefully he'll be able to continue. And Jesse, we will see if there'll be any penalty against Jason Gungadarin. That would be brutal for Brookline at a time where Needham's offense has been at sky-high levels. The Warriors have been struggling at the end of the second period, and they will need to get off to at least a neutral start. They showed sparks at the end of that second with that chance from Gungadarin as he was able to hustle his way through to the offensive zone, and that's a good shot and a great save from Brownridge. Brookline did look strong in those small moments.
At the end of 2, our score, Needham 3, Brookline 1. The only goal of the second period coming from Needham's Tommy Peabody off the assist from Sean Concannon. As we head into this second intermission, I remind you once again, this broadcast is brought to you in part by Esch Dental, located right in Coolidge Corner. Book your next dental appointment with local dentist and BHS Sports parent Dr. Brandon Esch for the non-corporate personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eschdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to eashdенtal.com. You can see the Esch Dental logo in the bottom center of your screen, and you can find that link and phone number in the description section down below, where you can also find a link to the official Venmo account of the Friends of BHS Hockey Booster Club, and you can also find a link and phone number for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Community Foundation. And once again, if you know of any local businesses or local charities that you think would benefit from some extra visibility on these broadcasts, feel free to give them my contact information or give their information to me if you would like to connect us that way. But for now, second intermission, Needham 3, Brookline 1. From Warrior Ice Arena alongside Sam Lowenstein, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. We're going to take a break and mute our mics, but we'll be back with the third and final period. Stay tuned. Hello again, back on the mic. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan alongside Sam Lowenstein here at Warrior Ice Arena in Boston, Massachusetts. Here to bring you the third and final period of regulation here in this high school varsity boys hockey contest between the hosting Brookline High Warriors and the visiting Needham High Rockets. Needham with a 3-1 lead through two, and they're going to start this period on the power play. A minute 37 still left on the penalty against Dylan Katz. We've seen no indication of any additional penalty against Jason Goddard after that hard collision with the goalie in the closing seconds of the second period, but still an advantage for Needham to start.
Well, it looked like to me on that collision involving Brownridge and Goddard, and Brownridge came out of the goalie area, and that's why it wasn't called a penalty. That's my personal theory on the situation. Goddard was rightly going for the puck. An unfortunate collision, and I hope that Brownridge is okay, but it didn't seem dirty.
I think that's a good theory. I was wondering about that myself, so I think that's a good call there, Sam. And Carson Brownridge is back between the pipes for Needham. He seems to be okay, and that's good. We never root for injuries here, no matter who it is you're rooting for. So good to see he is back out there. We got one period to go, a fresh 15 minutes on the clock. Brookline, like we said, trailing by multiple scores here. They had a first period goal by Corey Toe, sandwiched around two Needham goals in the first period, scored by Will Saratella and Matt Ledbury. And then in the second period, only one goal scored by Needham's Tommy Peabody. And that is where we stand here as Brookline hoping to get back into this one, but they're going to have to start on the penalty kill here for the first minute and 37 seconds. Here we go. Needham controls the puck off the opening faceoff. Niall O'Malley skating around the back, leaves it for Sam Treacy. Treacy holding it as the team starts their advance through the neutral zone. Long pass misses. Joe Kajunski corralled by Preston Bayless, skating it down into his own end, stolen away by Kajunski. Bayless needed to take that puck the other way. Treacy trying to keep it on the attack end, and he does. Saratella trying to move it forward. Ricochets back, long shot, nice block by Greg Eptekman, and it's cleared out by Thomas O'Brien, and Needham will have to reset. Treacy takes it around the back. Skating around, 50 seconds left on the penalty as he gets it up to Will Saratella, and that's going to be offsides on Needham, and so they're forced to leave it so Brookline can clear it out with just about 35 seconds left on the power play. Sent up from Justin Mayra up to Nick Sewell. Long pass finds Kajunski. Kajunski charging in. Long shot saved by Haas, but left dangling. Kajunski recovers it, takes it around the back. Sends it off the boards for Sewell. Sewell back, misses. Kajunski goes back to Mayra. Sends it up to Sewell. Now up to Sewell, rather. Sewell, a close shot saved by Haas, but put back, or I might have squirted through. And either Sewell or Saratella will get that power play goal with just 9 seconds left on the penalty kill. That's tough for Brookline to give up a goal there.
It looked like Will Saratella got wide open at the back post. Looked like it came off of Craig Haas, took a deflection, and yet again, that's the third time this game that Needham has gotten a second chance goal off an empty net. Craig Haas committing overly to the right side there.
And so we'll see who the PA announcer gives that one to, as Needham takes now a 4-1 lead in the third period. They do credit it to Sewell. So Kajunski gets the assist, Sewell with the goal. Saratella clearly did not knock it in there, as that shot saved by Haas, but recovered by Needham as they stay on the attack, even with the 3-goal advantage. Mayra pass whiffed on the one-timer by Rudder, and he can't recover it. Number of players coming out for the first time for Brookline at this moment, but for now, keeping it on the attack is Concannon. Concannon around the back, sends it back to Rudder. Shot saved by Haas. And among those players that were out for the first time, they're going to come back to the bench. It was number 16, Morris May, number 3, Ricky Ace, number 22, Vivon Suberwall.
Well, there, Waylon Slavin was guarding, forced the decently long shot from Needham.
And now Brookline, after the face-off, they're coming out with it, but it's knocked away. Number 20, Ilmari Rauto, was skating with it for a bit there for Brookline, as Brookline's, bringing out some extra guys off the bench as they now trail by 3. O'Brien whips it around the boards. Marrero had it for a second, disrupted. Rauto trying to push it forward, gets it to the neutral zone, but it's knocked right back out to the neutral zone, taken briefly by number 10, Joey Saratella. Saratella sends a pass, and it's covered up by Haas.
Joey Saratella forced into the left side there with the pressure of Brookline's Thomas O'Brien. Saratella tried to play it across, possibly to get a shot on goal from somebody else, but Craig Haas able to corral it, and the shot too close to Haas.
12:03 on the clock here in the third period. Still plenty of hockey left to play, but Brookline in a deep hole here, trailing 4-1. Face-off won by Brookline. Katz sends it around the boards to Gengadarin. Gengadarin trying to push it along. Guo pushes it through to the neutral zone. Lacey giving chase. Lacey trying to hop over Treacy, but Treacy corrals the puck and clears it out. Bayless pushes it back to Guo. Guo sends it near side. Katz pushes it forward, but it's intercepted now by Sewell. Sewell pushing it along the boards. Recovered by Katz. Katz pass misses everybody. Chased down by Treacy. Treacy gets back to the neutral zone to Sewell. Sewell passes to an open Will Saratella, and he gets the legs taken out from under him by Bayless. Hard collision there as it's pushed into the neutral zone. O'Malley across to Treacy. Treacy dumps it into the Brookline end. Off the ricochet, taken by Kajunsky. Long shot goes high. Recovered by Treacy. Pushed around the back. Saratella almost tried to jam one in, but missed it. Rebound corralled by Lacey. Takes it to the neutral zone. Dumps it into the Needham end. Blocked by Brownridge there. And now O'Malley sending it off the boards. Treacy trying a long pass. Gets to Saratella. Disrupted by Toe. Recovered by Aptekman. Aptekman dumps it in as O'Malley skating with it around behind his own net. From behind, pressure by Toe, but no one could collect it. Now taken by Will O'Donnell. O'Donnell skating with it, pass forward, gets up to Will Saratella. Saratella dumps it into the Brookline end. Chasing after it is Ryan Wilson. Along the boards, a scrum for it. And the loose puck corralled by O'Brien, disrupted. O'Donnell recovers, pass to the slot, intercepted by Aptekman. Back into the corner and now along the boards. They're pushing for it. Coming out with it is Needham, and a shot just could not corral it on the deke. That was Joe McDonnell. Now Brookline clears it out to the neutral zone. Needham takes it back. Push it into the corner. O'Brien gets there first, sends it around the boards to Eitan Kate. Now Aptekman manages to just barely push forward for Suberwall, but it's taken away by Peabody. Peabody's got one goal already today. Pass back to Rudder. Rudder couldn't weave his way through traffic there, and it's taken away. Kate pass to Aptekman, forward to Suberwall. Suberwall kicks it through the defense. Suberwall charging in, shot wide. Ricochets around, chased down by Morris May. Passes back to Bayless. Bayless sends pass back up to May. May skating through the neutral zone. Collides. Bayless the poke check, but it's sent back to Peabody. But Peabody was across the blue line before the puck came across, and so that is offsides.
An unfortunate play there for Needham. Needham have been trying a lot of long passes in behind the goal to dump it to the other side and get their attacks flowing. They've had more success with that than in the short pass game in this third period.
Off the face-off, a shot whipped by O'Donnell wide of the net. Rebound chased down by May. May racing with it the other way. Tries a pass blocked by the defense of number 12, Alex Duan. Taken the other way by O'Donnell. Pass through, nobody there. Intercepted by Brookline as May sends it off the boards. Blocked by Song. And now pass back to Katz. Across to Bayless. Hard check from O'Donnell, but he gets the puck away to Katz. Katz lifts it high in the air, out to the neutral zone, chased down by Duan. Duan collides hard with Suberwall, and Bayless swoops in and takes it. Duan is down hurt, and that's going to stop play. Suberwall took the legs out from under Duan as they collided, and hopefully Duan is okay, as the refs are going to confer over whether that's going to be a penalty on Suberwall. You know, you always got to think about it when a player gets hurt and gets sent spinning like that. Duan being helped off the ice, and we certainly hope that he is okay.
You just hate to see that, a player laying in the middle of the ice like that, hoping he's all right.
The officials discussing with the Brookline bench what the situation's going to be. This might be a penalty against Suberwall, which would put Brookline on the PK again.
So Brookline coaches previously discussing with the referee.
Wait, they're saying this against O'Brien. I think I heard the ref say he kicked someone. What? What is happening?
Take someone? Some jeers coming from the crowd.
They're trying to say O'Brien wasn't even on the ice during the play. This is very weird. Now Marrero is going to the penalty box. I don't think he was in the middle of that play either. I'm very confused. What is going on?
What it looks like happened is the referee told Brookline to pick a player to go to the penalty box.
That's what it looks like. Off the face-off, Kaczynski whips a shot, and it's saved by Haas, as this will be a 2-minute power play for Needham. Kaczynski passed down to Sewell. Sewell back. Kaczynski shot saved by Haas. Rebound could not be corralled. And now they're fighting for this puck. And they're going to call a tripping penalty against O'Brien, as now Sewell is coming around the back, and the shot turned aside by Haas as that shot from Saratella. Now another shot misses high and wide of the net. Corralled by Tracy. There's just so much confusion over what that penalty is. I'm not even going to try. As Sewell around the back, pinned by Katz, trying to fend him off, get the pass away to Kaczynski. Kaczynski trying to pass for Saratella, but it's turned aside by the Brookline defense. Erdman trying to get it out, but couldn't. Tracy blocks it again, and Haas didn't get full grip on that one, but now it's cleared out by O'Brien with a minute left on the penalty. Brookline commits to a change as Grady Ames applying that forecheck and applying pressure. Pass now goes up to Rudder. Rudder sends a long pass for Peabody. Peabody gets around the defense, charging in, shot saved by, actually that's not Haas, that's Gerber who has checked into the net. Evan Gerber, the freshman, getting some time between the pipes for Brookline here in the third period, as Peabody whips a shot, and I think we've got a delayed penalty against Brookline as they're going empty net. Brookline just laying out all kinds of hits here. What appears to be out of some frustration here in the third period. And now we're going to see another penalty assessed to Brookline, and I think they're going to go 5-on-3 for the next 23 seconds and then serve another penalty kill. Brookline starting to get rowdy here in the third period, as I saw Jason Goderin go to the penalty box for another 2-minute minor. And so Brookline going to be down to just 3 players for the next 23 seconds. And then after that, the remaining 1:37 will be a power play.
Well, you said it perfectly right, Jesse. Brookline almost showing their frustration with these big hits. The very strange penalty coming from the referee, which was ultimately assessed to Marrero. And now this hit. And what that penalty really did, that Barrera ended up having to go to the penalty box, it was a morale killer. It killed all of Brookline's momentum that they could have had. Now down 3 goals with a little under 7 minutes to go and a 5-on-3. It'll be an uphill battle for them.
Yep. And they're going to be facing that uphill battle with a rookie in net. I mentioned it briefly before, but let me clarify fully now. Freshman Evan Gerber in the net now for Brookline, subbing in for Craig Haas. Haas has been, under fire really since the opening seconds of this game. gave a valiant effort, but 4 goals allowed is a tough result. And so they've made the switch to Gerber.
And the result of 4 goals for Craig House, it doesn't tell the story. 3 of those goals were based pretty much on second chance balls where Haas dove, or 2, excuse me, not 3, but 2 of those off of deflections and really hard saves for Haas to make, where he saved the first shot, the second one went in, and on that first goal, he almost made a kick save too.
And we've got an important update. That penalty against Gungadarin, not 2 minutes, but 4 minutes, as they assess an additional penalty, I think, on that one. So after the 23 seconds of 5-on-3, it's going to be another 3 minutes and 37 seconds of a Needham power play. And again, this is just, you can't be having this happen. I know it's tough to be trailing by 3 goals, but you can't let it get to your heads and then just squash whatever chance you might have had at a comeback by putting yourself in the box like this. This is a tough situation for Brookline. And that one is going to be off the outside of the net. Saratella had a wide open second chance opportunity, as Needham taking full advantage of the numbers advantage here. Kajunsky with the puck now. Back to the point to O'Malley. O'Malley to Kajunsky, one-timer missed wide. And now we're back to 4-on-3 as Marrero comes out of the box, ending that first penalty, saved by Haas, and a putback by Nick Sewell. That will be Sewell's second goal of the game, as Needham now leads 5-1.
Well, a strong save from Evan Gerber. The puck ricocheted back out. Nick Sewell's in the perfectly right spot, right ahead of the goal, as he just puts it home, and now 5-1.
And now, based on what the scoreboard is showing, looks like the power play goal ends the first of the 2 penalties against Gungadarin. And so it's knocked down to 2 minutes, as he still has to serve the second penalty they assessed to him.
And Brookline just cannot catch a break tonight.
As that one from Bayless goes over the top of the bench, and that'll be another dead puck, and we'll have a face-off in the neutral zone. 6:21 on the clock here in the third period. 5-1, Needham leads. Assist given to Will Saratella on that goal by Nick Sewell, his second goal of the day. First multi-goal score for Needham, as they've been spreading the scoring out in this high scoring output. O'Malley chases that puck down, gives it to Peabody. 1.5 to go on the penalty against Brookline. Peabody skating up the ice, lost it, knocked away by O'Brien. Ricochets off Mayra's stick, picked up by Kincannon and passed back. Now sent forward to Peabody, knocked away by O'Brien, corralled by Mayra. Mayra pushed through the blue line, but Bayless tries to clear, blocked by Mayra. And now pinned up against the boards. Knocked loose, corralled by Ames. Ames racing on the shorthand, poke check by Ledbury. Ames passes back to Aptekman. Aptekman trying to push it through, but it's taken away by Ledbury. 3-on-2 rush for Needham, but Aptekman racing back to help and disrupts it as it goes to the corner. Kincannon chasing after it, collides with O'Brien. Battle along the boards. Ledbury comes out with it, leaves it, and it's taken away by O'Brien. Whips it around, stopped by Mayra. Mayra, pass forward for, I think, Rudder. Rudder disrupted by O'Brien. O'Brien battling for that puck. Tries to clear, stopped by Mayra. Now Aptekman knocks it loose into the neutral zone. Aptekman trying to find the puck, and he does push it forward down to the Needham end. It's not icing because it's still a penalty. Giving chase is Corey Toe. Toe does knock it loose. Brookline trying to apply the forecheck in the last seconds of this penalty. Now controlled by Needham, by Nick Buckley, number 4. Pass across to number 9, Will Rosenberg. Back up to Buckley. Buckley shot wide of the net, and we are back at even strength as Gungadarin comes out. And so out of those multiple penalties, Needham managed to get 1 power play goal, go up 5-1. That is the second power play goal of the day for Needham. Both of them scored by Nick Sewell. O'Brien chases this puck down, whips it around the boards to Kate. Kate into the neutral zone, taken away by Will O'Donnell. Sent into the Brookline end where it's chased down by Katz. Less than 4 minutes to go. Brookline trailing by 4 as Katz pass finds Erdman. Erdman racing up the ice, gains the blue. Trying to weave around, try to jam one in, could not. Song recovers it around the back, tries to clear off the boards, taken by Erdman. Erdman trying to muscle his way through, and he does. Still battling for that puck. Erdman comes away with it again. Pass back to the blue line to Wilson, across to Katz. Katz, long shot saved by Brownridge. Rebound recovered by Kate, given to Erdman. Erdman lost control of it. Erdman keeps it away from Katz, who's trying a slap shot there. Erdman whips one in. Kate trying to jam one on the putback, cannot. Brownridge covers it up as bodies go flying.
A punch is thrown.
Pushing and shoving again. It's that same philosophy I was talking about of bodyguard duty kicking in as soon as the goalie gets touched, but this might be a penalty against Needham. Looks like number 10, Joey Saratella, is going to be headed to the box.
Well, nothing but bad blood between these two teams multiple times today. A bunch of big collisions and little skirmishes near the goalies.
We got 2 Needham players headed to the box as number 5, Will Song, is also heading there. And is this going to be just one penalty, or is this going to be a 5-on-3? What's going on here?
Looks like a 5-on-3 to me.
It looks like it for now. The scoreboard still hasn't reflected that.
Or no, there's 4 Needham players out.
Yeah, there's 4, so...
Delayed penalty.
Not sure if maybe the other one might just be like maybe a fighting penalty, but it's not offsetting. That's so strange. Either way, a 2-minute power play for Brookline. We'll see if they can get a second goal on the board off of this. Chance off the face-off. Treacy corrals it, lifts it. Stopped at the blue line by Katz. Passes forward to Gungadarin. Gungadarin whips one high and wide. Off the boards, chased down by Ames. Ames goes to the point to O'Brien. O'Brien whips one, ricochets high, and oh, Kate runs over Brownridge, and that is going to end the power play for Brookline as we're going to go to a 4-on-4. Aton Kate trying to chase down the rebound around behind the net and just sloppily goes right through the goalie area and bowls over Brownridge.
And that's the second time Brownridge has been hit by a Brookline player today. Earlier in the game, Jace Gungadarin had a shot saved by Brownridge. He went in, and there was a big collision. But as we've been talking about, it's been a physical game on all fronts. In terms of defense, the goalies have been involved, and a lot of the breaks have gone the way of Needham.
But I'll tell you, that last play didn't even feel like it was a case of physicality. It just felt like a place of not knowing where you are on the ice. As off this face-off, we're now in 4-on-4 action, so effectively even strength. There'll be a few seconds of a power play for Needham. Katz passes up to Ames. Ames gains the blue line, trying to get around Treacy. Puck's knocked loose, but Ames dives for it to try and keep it in the attack end, but it is corralled by O'Malley. O'Malley skating out the back. Pass up, finds Rosenberg. Rosenberg gains the blue, whips along, shot glove, saved by Gerber.
A strong save from Evan Gerber. O'Malley taking the open shot. Looked like he was trying to whip it into the top right corner. Is Needham here trying to get the freshman goalie Gerber to make a mistake. He's done solid so far.
2 minutes and 13 seconds on the clock here in this game. 1 minute 4 seconds on the Needham penalty. 1 minute 26 on the Brookline penalty. Face-off goes back to O'Malley. O'Malley sends it forward to Buckley. Buckley's pass gets deflected. Cleared out off the glass by Toe, I think. O'Malley chases it down, whips it off the boards. Sent back forward by O'Brien and Guo into the Needham end. Treacy chasing after it. Pass up. Finds his man. Now goes across to Buckley from Joe McDonald. Buckley gains the blue. Weaving, looking for a pass. Pass blocked by Katz, and they send it back to Gerber, who covers it up.
Also small miscommunications at the back for Brookline. And one of the big taking points from this game is Needham's had the puck for the majority of time in Brookline's offensive zone. They've done a great job staying consistently applying pressure, and Brookline hasn't had much of an answer for it besides their counters.
Tekman passes to Lacey as they're going to try for a counter here. Lacey charging in. Lacey shot saved by Brownridge. Like you said, Sam, those counterattacks have been a large part of Brookline's attack chances, but Brownridge has stood tall for most of them, and Brookline's not been able to get more than that one goal they got in the first period.
And also, for as good as their counter chances have been, they've just had way less than Needham has.
Taking it the other way now is Colin O'Donnell. O'Donnell passes back. One-timer from Treacy, deflects over the crossbar. Now recovered. This is Duan. Duan battling in the corner. Rough and tumble in there, but Brookline gets it out. Wilson skating with it. Pass up, misses Lacey. Lacey trying to chase after it into the corner with Treacy. And Joey Saratella comes out with it. His outlet pass intercepted by Bayless. Bayless gets passed through to Lacey. Lacey whips a shot, saved by Brownridge. Rebound corralled by Rosenberg. Rosenberg gains the blue. Lost the puck. Colin O'Donnell battling for it. Passes it through to Saratella. Saratella tries to pass the slot, blocked. And recovered now by Tekman. 30 seconds to go here in this game. Tekman has it taken away by Saratella. Rosenberg gains the blue. Full even strength here. Is this one up in the air? And it bounces in as Needham gets another goal. Gerber had the save, but it deflected way high in the air and came down and went across the goal line as Needham now up 6-1.
Well, that shot from Saratella going on the right wing. He was taking advantage of a slow line change from Brookline as they had nobody on that side of the ice. An unlucky bounce for the Warriors and what's been a rough night.
22.7 seconds to go. Needham will get their first win of the season as Brookline will fall to 1-2. As here in the closing seconds, that last goal scored by Will Rosenberg as the save made by Evan Gerber on that one. Needham was trying for lucky number 7 there off a shot from Joe McDonnell. So Rosenberg, the 5th different goal scorer for Needham as they go up 6-1. Rauto whips it all around the boards off a hard ricochet. It's taken by Ledbury, passed back to O'Malley, who lifts it high to Buckley, and that will end your game. The final score here at Warrior Ice Arena, certainly not what Brookline was hoping for with their home opener. Final score, Needham 6, Brookline 1. It was a close back and forth contest through the first 5 minutes of the first period as Needham took the lead off of goals from Will Saratella and Matt Ledbury, sandwiched around the first career goal for Corey Toe for Brookline, made it 2-1 at the end of one. Second period, just one goal scored by Tommy Peabody to give Needham a 3-1 lead going into the third, but then in the third, Needham broke things open. A pair of power play goals scored by Nick Sewell, and then one last goal scored by Will Rosenberg, and that accounts for all your scoring.
Well, tonight it was a well-rounded affair from the Needham Rockets. They just seemed strategically better than Brookline was. Needham was able to work it from side to side. They had a lot of success from the right wing. And Brookline, besides their counterattacks, they were totally stifled by Needham's defense. Brookline didn't have it enough in the offensive zone, and they weren't able to get out of their shell whatsoever.
So Needham will improve to 1-1 on the season. Brookline falls to 1-2. And I want to thank you all again for tuning in today. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan alongside Sam Lowenstein. Thank you again to Esh Dental for sponsoring this broadcast. Esh Dental, located right in Coolidge Corner. Book your next dental appointment with local dentist and BHS sports parent, Dr. Brandon Esh, for the non-corporate personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eshdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to eashdental.com. You can find all that information about Esh Dental in the description section of this video down below, where you can also find a link to the official Venmo account of the Friends of BHS Hockey Booster Club. And you can also find a link and phone number for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Community Foundation. And you can also find some links related to me, which you can also see on the bottom right corner of your screen. My personal website, jessesports.com, where you can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Or if you want to skip past all that, you can email me directly with any questions, requests, or comments you may have. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook, where I post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that is going to do it. Needham 6, Brookline 1 from Warrior Ice Arena in Boston, Massachusetts. Alongside Sam Lowenstein, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.